What's up everyone, this is LeetCode 3, longest substring without repeating characters. So we're given a string S and we have to find the longest substring, right? Substring has to be contiguous, right? It's not a subsequence that we're looking for. It's a substring, okay? So make sure you understand the difference. This example shows the difference clearly. So done this problem in Python. This is C++, as I said. So we're going to use a sliding window, okay? That's how you solve this problem, okay? Because you don't want to check every combination until you get a repeating character, and then check every combination of the next letter until you get a repeating character, and then check every combination, right? You don't want to do this. You want to do it in one pass, because our input can grow pretty big, so we don't want too much overhead. And so we want to use a sliding window, okay? And when we get a repeating character, we shrink the sliding window, okay? Repeating character, shift the sliding window. Okay, pretty simple. So this is how we're gonna do this. We're gonna make a left pointer, a right pointer, point to the same place. We're going to maintain the max length, and we're gonna have a set. Let's see, while is list. So because this window is expanding, the left side of the window will never be the right of the right side of the window. So we only need to do this. We don't need to do this, right? It's just unnecessary. Because this will always break the loop first. Right? So we're gonna say basically if the right pointer is not in the set, right? Which is this. We're gonna add that to the set. So if the right part of the window is pointing at something that's not in the set already, let's add it to our set. Okay. So for example, over here. Okay. This is not in our set, so let's add it to our set. And to update the count for the longest substring, we basically take the maximum between count, the variable count, and the length of the set, or the size of the window, right? Same thing. In which case it'd be 1. 1 is greater than 0, right? So our new count for our longest substring would be 1. That makes sense. Initially it's 0, right? That's why I say 0. So we're going to say max length. Let's say count. Okay. Because we're moving this right pointer over 1, we do r minus l, right? Rather than r minus l plus 1. Okay. To get the appropriate window size. Meaning, right, like if our pointers, we left them at the same spot, we would do r minus l plus 1 to get the window size. But because I move the right pointer over 1 after I add this to the set, we can just do r minus l, index 1, 0, right? So we get the window size of 1. So we don't need to add a plus 1 here. It's not necessary. Else, this is where we encounter a duplicate, right? In which case we would do my set.erase s of l, right? Because we're shrinking the window. So we want to remove it from our set. And increment the counter to move the pointer over. And after that, should be good. Right? No mention function called to say max. Oh, this is count, sorry. This is the variable name I had earlier. Should be max length. I called it count previously in my Python video, so I was thinking of that. but I'm just going to call it max length in C++ just to be a little bit more concise. Now we're manually moving these, incrementing these variables, but we don't have to do it like this. I just do it like that because it's easier to read. It's more readable for like a new person doing this problem. But we can just do it like this also. This way is a little bit more concise, but maybe it's a tiny bit less readable for somebody who's first like wrapping their head around this problem. But I'll still show you this way. It's more concise, but like I said, maybe a tiny bit less readable. I'm gonna say this. And here we're gonna characters until S of R not in set. Say wow. Basically, if something's in our set, let's remove it. If the right pointer has a character that's already in our set, let's remove whatever the left pointer is pointing at and shrink the window until we no longer have that problem. Okay. So, say L++. Then down here, we add the current character to the set. So we're going to say my set dot insert S of R. This is the same solution. I'm just doing a for loop rather than a while loop because it's, like I said, it's a bit more concise. It's just maybe a little bit less readable depending on how good of a grasp you have on this problem. And here we can update the count like we did in my original solution. Now this is the part where we would add +1 because we're not moving the right pointer over, right? Like I did in my original solution. And here we just return the max length. There you go. Whoops. Unordered set, not map. We're not using a hash map, we're using a hash set. Okay. Pretty easy. So again, what we're basically doing is we're basically doing this, adding P to our set. Right. That substring so far is 1, so our count is 1, right? Move the right window over, we have this. So our count would be 2, we have PW in the set, right? When you count the second W, we remove this P, move the left pointer over like this. Let's make it a bit thicker. Like this. Again, our right pointer's right here. We still already have this in our set, so remove this, because this is what the left pointer is pointing at. Right? Okay, now we can add W to our set. Move the right pointer over. Right, add this K. Our count is still 2. Move the right pointer over. WKE in our set. Okay, now the count is 3, right? So that's kind of how our algorithm works, right? So yeah, I think this problem is pretty easy. I think it's just a bit hard to come up with on your own because you might understand you might have to use a sliding window on this problem. I think the tricky part might be coming up with the fact that you have to use a set to handle duplicates, right? Or repeating characters. That can be a little bit tricky. But anyways, I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.